Willow episode 8 of season 1 is the finale of the show, and it just I don't even know what to say about this show. This show's a mess. And I'm very shocked about that because there's no reason for this show to be a mess. And I really am just disappointed with what this show turned out to be. Um, and I will watch this show till its end. And it seems like we're getting 3 seasons by the end of this episode. Spoilers for this review. What really didn't work about this episode is it's a finale of a show where all the characters have concluding character arcs within the season. And some leave open for the next season, some wrap up, but it really just feels like in Fellowship. There's that great ending to the first to the trilogy where they all meet up, and even though they're different, very different characters, when they meet up again, it's wonderful, it's beautiful. After all their character arcs have concluded, you love every character. This show does not feel like that at the end of the season. You have all this guy's having a character arc over here, that wraps up. This character has a character arc over here. It's just a very clunky finale that this is frustrating because okay, this character does this. I didn't really feel like I went on a journey with these characters throughout this season. I felt like I had to slog through a boring TV show with a lot of issues. And it's still overall a pretty decent show. It's better than your average show. The show looks beautiful. The acting and costume designs, for the most part, are good. There's a couple points that it was awkward, and I complained about that in episode 3. So if you want to see my review for episode 3 where I complained about that, there you go. But other than that, like, the writing and the script just isn't great. But, the action in this episode was great. And by the end of the season, I was curious about what's going to happen next, and if a show is curious to make me want to know what happens next, it's doing a pretty good job at being what it is, but it's also frustrating and boring at certain points and awkward with the classic rock songs, including the end of this episode. It's very clear, though, that they want this to be 3 seasons with the way they close the chapters with the first book and the second, and then, there's 2 other books, so I'm guessing we're going there. But I'm also like, I don't know if this show's going to get a second season. This may as very well be one of the very first Disney Plus shows to be canceled. Not the first, but this is definitely going to be the biggest one if it happens, because this show is a mess, and it is hard to understand what they were doing with this show. And I don't think majority of people who watch it will hate it. I think they will actually enjoy it just like I did. But I do think that there is a level of like, it's just so disappointing that this show turned out like that, unfortunately.